Saving Private Ryan isn't just a war movie, it's a punch to the gut. It feels real because it almost was. From real bullets and live explosions to actors in full army training, the movie went further than most to show what war was really like. But behind the scenes, it gets even crazier. Let's break down 10 weird and powerful facts you probably didn't know. The opening scene was so real it triggered panic. The D-Day landing at Omaha Beach shocked moviegoers. It wasn't just intense, it was traumatizing for many veterans. The film opened in 1998, and reports came in that some WW2 veterans had to leave the theater. They weren't just emotional, some had panic attacks, nausea, and PTSD flashbacks. Spielberg didn't use music or filters in this scene. It was blood, screams, and chaos, just like the real invasion. One veteran said, "I saw my friends again, and I couldn't stay in the room." That's how real it felt. The gun sounds were made using real WW2 weapons. Instead of using stock sound effects, the film's sound team fired actual WW2-era weapons into different materials. Sand, water, and metal to record the authentic noise of battle. Actors even wore earpieces during filming. These earpieces played back those sounds while scenes were shot. So when you see an actor dive to the ground in fear, it wasn't just acting, they were reacting to real gunfire in their ears. The fear on their faces? Totally real. Spielberg used real explosions and kept actors in the dark. Yes, the explosions were real. Spielberg and the stunt team used live charges buried in the sand. But here's the twist. The actors weren't told exactly when or where they'd go off. This wasn't a trick for drama, it was for authentic reactions. One actor got hit with fake blood and forgot his next line for several seconds. Another hit the ground way too early. It was messy, loud, and completely unpredictable, just like real war. Matt Damon was picked because he was unknown, then became a star. Spielberg wanted the actor playing Private Ryan to feel ordinary, like a kid from down the street. He didn't want a famous face, so he cast Matt Damon, who was unknown at the time. But right before Saving Private Ryan hit theaters, Good Will Hunting exploded. Damon won an Oscar, became a household name, and suddenly Spielberg's regular guy looked like a star. Funny enough, this actually added extra tension. Now, when Tom Hanks' character sacrifices everything for Ryan, the audience feels the pressure even more, like, you'd better be worth it. Tom Hanks didn't ask about money, he just said yes. When Tom Hanks got the script, he didn't ask for a salary. He didn't even ask questions. He read it cover to cover in one sitting, looked at Spielberg and said, "I'm in." Hanks later said it wasn't just a role, it was an honor. On set, he carried himself like a leader, quiet, thoughtful, respectful. After filming, he continued supporting veterans, visiting hospitals, and helping causes connected to the military. For Hanks, it wasn't just a movie, it was a responsibility. The cast went through a real boot camp, except Damon. The main cast went through 10 days of actual military training. Full gear, mud, hunger, team exercises, pain. The goal? Make them move and think like real soldiers, and bond as a unit. But Matt Damon wasn't invited. Spielberg wanted the rest of the cast to resent him a little, just like their characters do when they finally find Private Ryan. And it worked. When they met him on set, the frustration felt real. Spielberg didn't take a paycheck. Even though the movie made over $480 million, Spielberg didn't take a dime. No salary, no profit share, nothing. He called it blood money and felt it would be wrong to make personal profit from the stories of real soldiers who had died. Instead, he donated his cut to veterans' charities, quietly, without fanfare or publicity, a powerful gesture that showed how much this film meant to him. The movie was used for PTSD training. After the film's release, the U.S. Department of Defense and Veterans Affairs began using Saving Private Ryan to train therapists working with veterans. It helped doctors understand the sensory overload and emotional trauma of combat. The movie became a teaching tool, not just entertainment, helping others support aging veterans who had stayed silent for decades. Earn This was not in the script. One of the most emotional moments in the movie was completely unscripted. As Captain Miller, Tom Hanks dies, he pulls Private Ryan close and whispers, "Earn this." That line wasn't in the script. Hanks came up with it in the moment. Spielberg loved it so much, he didn't even ask for a second take. That one whisper became the moral center of the film, a reminder that surviving a war comes with its own heavy cost. A real letter from Lincoln made the orchestra cry. When recording the soundtrack, composer John Williams had Tom Hanks read the real Bixby letter aloud. It was a letter Abraham Lincoln wrote to a mother who lost 5 sons in the Civil War. As Hanks read it, the entire orchestra stopped playing. Many were crying. No one could speak. That quiet moment, private, emotional, and raw, deeply influenced how the music for Saving Private Ryan was written. It wasn't just notes, it was grief. Saving Private Ryan wasn't made to impress, it was made to remember. Even decades later, the movie still moves people, not with flashy action, but with deep truth, raw emotion, and brutal honesty.